I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, I love it, I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. As you see here on Texas Southern University campuses, we have a basketball game about to start about 6:30, halfway through the show. That is Houston-Tillerson of the men's side of things playing Texas Southern men. And that is the last game, if you would, of the non-conference state. And you get in conference play starting on Thursday. So things are going to get real interesting in the SWAC and soon to be MEAC. Already things are interesting in the SIAC and CIAA. But there is a new year around the corner. So today's episode of 762 will be just that. We'll take a review of 2025 and see what these gentlemen think about that. So welcome to episode 762 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast. The show that's covering the sporting HBCU dash for all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil. Along with my co-host, Mike Washington, Charles Bishop is on the sideline as he continues to upgrade his portfolio. So we'll see if we can stick him in there, but obviously he has work to do, so we understand that. But I have Wilton Jackson II, the man who I didn't realize was a marathon runner. The man runs. No wonder he looks all sharp and can run with the best of them. The man is a world-class athlete. Go ahead, Wilton, getting it done. We have A.D. Drew, one of the hardest working men in the business, if you would say. Also getting it done, one of the best HBCU gurus up there, as we like to call it, the mid-major level. He can make sure that you know all the insights that you ever want to know about the CIAA, SIAC. He'll throw in some HBCU AC just to tickle your fancy, if you would. But that's what we've done for all these years, including 2025. With that being said, let's bring everybody up on it, because today's episode of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab is sponsored by THG Agency. THG Agency is a company that provides sporting, educational, consulting, and data analytics. As we have a full stage of individuals to give you your updates, you see we have Ja, the young brain of us all, making sure that we stay relevant in terms of staying up to date. He showed out a little bit, so let me know what you think of his work today. I told you about Wilton, marathon man. Bringing home trophies. I wonder why you had that trophy the other day. You didn't tell us what it was for. We on awards. You getting awards, journalist awards, marathon award. Mike, your boy over there, man. You might have to lay off on it for a minute, man. He's doing big things.
Well, Wilton, what marathon you running?
Man, so what's funny about all of this, I've never run a marathon before. I've just did different runs like 5Ks, 10Ks, different things.
Same thing about
it's many more Ks.
Taking more than a step running.
I'm working my way up slowly.
Yeah.
It's coming. Mike used to do that too. He used to run the whole campus, but he worked too hard now. He can't keep him out of Brazil.
Chasing when he was running was the question. Or what was chasing him?
There you go, AD. How are you this year? And I appreciate you showing love and giving everybody a little Christmas present as we put in the young guns, the youth with Deuce and Miles. They trying to run things now. Y'all almost in trouble. They asked did need them on the show today.
Good Lord, got the young ones.
Yeah, bro, I'm doing fine, but I just want to. I appreciate you just doing that, Wilton. Because do y'all see the subtle thing Wilton has with that Jackson 5 shirt on? Wilton Jackson II with the Jackson 5 shirt,
That didn't
So I
slip
guess,
out. That
I
didn't
guess.
slip
Jackson,
out.
Mississippi.
So which one of
Jackson
us is
State
Michael? Who
University,
is
that's a lot
Tito
of
today?
Jackson.
Who's Marlon, Randy, the
Yeah.
whole nine? Since it's 5 of us here, man.
They trying to go Jackson 5, little sliding them. I see you, Wilton. I see you.
Oh, he trying to send a message that they're going to be 5th year out of 6 to Jackson State going to the championship game.
Is that what it is?
I hear you. I hear you.
You said it, not me.
I'm good for it. As long as they come down to Texas for the championship game, we good.
Yeah.
John, how you doing over there?
Hey man, I can't complain. I'm excited for the new year, honestly. I'm ready. It was a great year for me, honestly. Got the chance to travel to all the games, and it was a new experience for me. So I'm really looking forward to everything coming up.
Yeah, man. Boy, you talking about hitting the round running. Let's look at that a little bit. HBCU Kim Rashad, as they will do a marathon event tomorrow. I'll get a chance to jump on with them, so I want to share them in love. Make sure you tune it in as they go from 8 to 8. Man, you're talking about hardest working folks in the business. Ken and his team for HBCU Sports will be fascinating to see what they're going to do. But with that being said, they did the big HBCU Sports stories. We're going to say moments, but they did the stories. This is what they have. 10, SWAC TV provides new options. Number 9, they have Winston-Salem State grad continues racing towards success. That's part of the NASCAR truck series by the roof. Number 8, HBCU Classics Council. We had 2 Classics Council. Bethune-Cookman's game versus Southern in Tampa, Florida was canceled. And many people remember the Georgia Football Classic that was going to feature Florida A&M and Mississippi Valley State. It was canceled and caused that game to actually move to the end of the year. We saw what happened at the end of the year for that game. Is it one of the top 10 moments of the year? We shall see. And number 7, Norfolk State women put together a historic season that landed. Diamond was a back-to-back conference player of the year, first team All-MEAC forward, Kiara Wheeler. Lady Spartans defeated Missouri and Auburn during that year and went 30-5. Coach left for Auburn because of his success and what they saw down there and gave Maryland a scare. CIAA remains charmed as they stay in the Charm City. As Charlotte thought they were going to get back in the business, CIAA said, thank you, but no thanks. Albany State enjoyed the golden football season in the process while they won a championship, going deep in the playoffs, defeating number 2 ranked team Benedict 3 times, including in the 3rd round of the playoffs, if you would, or 2nd round of the playoffs, I should say. A fascinating season. They did lose their coach, Quinn Gray, who's now the head coach of FAMU, another one of those D2 elevations. We've seen what that has done the last 2 seasons. It's interesting to see what that means for Florida A&M. Same thing happened to them, boy. There's going to be some rattlers that are really excited about that. We shall see 2026. Number 4, speaking about coaches moving up, Tremaine Jackson leads Prairie View to the SWAC Championship and Cricket Celebration Bowl appearance, coming from Valdosta State, where he played for a championship at the Division II level. He came over and pretty much replicated that in the SWAC. They hadn't won. Prairie View, as I say we hadn't won a championship since 2009. Coach Tremaine Jackson gets it done. And number 3, they have Delaware State-Norfolk State game moved to the NFL Stadium. Packed it out for 47,266 as brotherly love and sisterly affection was held strong. Hornets get it done 27-20 as they go all the way to their last home game against South Carolina State undefeated and created a de facto championship against then undefeated and with state undefeated South Carolina State. Number 2, hit the Harlon Hill on them as you had the first HBCU player to win the Harlon Hill Trophy, NCAA's Division II equivalent of the Heisman Trophy, 40 years, and hadn't got it done. But Curtis Allen said, not so fast. He got it done, 6'2", 215-pound senior. Then all Division II in rushing yards, 2,386, carries 297, touchdowns 30, and averaged 8.03 yards per carry. Crazy. Number 1, South Carolina State celebrates the Black College Championship. Chennisberry gets it done, first one at the major division level after getting there last year. had to come back from a 21-0 deficit, 28-21, 35-28, and ultimately got it done 38-35 in 4 overtimes. That's what they have as top stories, but it's time to see what HBCU Sports Lab says for the top story. Let's play our first 3 stories. You know, we do a top 7.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 outside of that. So we're going to play those 3. Essentially, we'll have all 10, but we'll play those just outside of the top 7, 10 through 8, and see what everybody has to say.
From walk-off home runs on the diamond to walk-off miracles on the gridiron, here are the top 10 HBCU sports. At number 10, we have the inaugural Unity Classic between 13th-ranked Virginia Union and the Edward Waters Tigers. There was no shortage of offense on the day as Noah Bawden opened the scoring with a 53-yard bomb to Isaiah Jean-Baptiste. Towards the end of the second quarter, Curtis Allen would run it in for 12 yards out to score his second touchdown of the game. The game would be tied 14-all at the half. The Tigers would come out with trickery in the third quarter, using a double pass to Isaiah Jean-Baptiste to put themselves up by 7. Then running back Brady Tillman would cap off the quarter with a 70-yard touchdown to put Edward Waters up 2 scores.
Is going downfield into Virginia Union territory is Brady Tillman, who goes all the way.
Union trailed E-Dub by 14 with 6 minutes to go. Then R.J. Rosales found Jeremiah Francis in the end zone to bring it within 1 score. The following possession, Lamumba Howard recovered a fumble and took it 51 yards back to the house to tie the game at 38.
But the defenses today, Marvin, first defensive score of the day.
Then on the ensuing kickoff, this happened.
Don't leave just yet.
Don't leave. So, the return is moving to midfield.
Oh my gosh.
Is he going all the way? Is Antonio Russell all the way to
He's
the
not
house?
gone.
Kyron Jackson took the kickoff 90 yards back to the crib, putting the Tigers back up by 7. The next possession, Rosales found Francis again from 23 yards out to tie the game with 57 seconds to go.
Time, it is good.
And that's a
for
touchdown.
the touchdown.
Then wide receiver Mekhi Lovett made the play of a lifetime, bringing down a 30-yard pass in triple coverage.
Looking for it.
Triple
The
coverage.
catch is made in triple coverage.
Are you kidding me?
Lovett with the grab.
That play helped set up Ryan Game for the game-winning field goal.
The kick
It's up.
is good.
The Tigers got their first 3-0 start since 1964 and knocked off the number 1 team in the HBCU mid-major. At number 9, we have Keely Spooner walking off Alabama State to send FAMU to the SWAC championship.
To the count. Here's the pitch. High fly ball in a deep left field. This ball's well hit up against the wall. That's a home run. It's a home run. It's a home run. Kaylee Spooner with a home run to give Florida A&M the win. Our first home run hit on this field in the tournament, and Kaylee Spooner sends FAMU to the championship game.
This was one of 3 elimination games FAMU had to win to set up a rematch of the 2024 SWAC Championship Series versus Jackson State.
Kaylee Spooner hit 3 home runs during the season. Deep fly ball just cleared the fence.
At number 8, we have the battle of the AUC between Morehouse and Clark Atlanta in basketball. Morehouse trailed by as much as 20, and this 3 by Omar Rowe forced the game into a second overtime.
Hill in the corner for Rowe for 3. It's good. They went against what we said and got the 3-pointer. It's a tie game.
To kick off double OT, Drake Watson gave Morehouse their first lead.
Morehouse first lead of the contest.
Omar Rowe will follow it up with another big 3.
For a 3.
It was absolutely rocking in Ford's Arena. Then Jaden Gray came down and hit a step back 3 to give Morehouse their lead back.
Good possessions. Jaden Gray, step back, 3. Boom! That's what you call a grown man 3-point shot.
After a missed Panthers jumper, Dre Watson sent the arena into a frenzy with this dunk.
It's all by Rowe. Dre Watson by himself. This place is going bananas.
This was the beginning of a 4-game win streak for the Tigers, and they won 5 of the last 7 to secure the 4 seed in the SIC tournament. Omar Rowe finished with 26 points, 18 of them coming in the second half in overtime.
Omar Rowe is absolutely on fire. Hey, up ahead to Rowe. Slams it home. Not in this house, the Tigers. And fans are going crazy right now. Storming the court after a big win against Clark Atlanta for the second time this season.
HBCU Sports Lab. So you saw 10 through 8. Let's just go around and see what you think. What do you have in memory, Wilton Jackson?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, like that took me back through there. Shout out to Eddie Drew for that last clip with Morehouse and Clark, and even Brian. I see him in the comments. Man, that Morehouse and Clark game.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. That was a movie. Yeah. Brian was, doing play-by-play. I was helping him with color analyst. And when I tell you, that was one of the best games. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I saw all season. That was like the turning point for Morehouse, basically ending the season. So I just remember being in there thinking like, oh, this place is, if they come back and win this game, oh, this is about to be crazy, like absolutely insane. That moment, I think, even also the Edward Waters game, like I think that when they beat Virginia Union, this was a team that we thought like, man, Edward Waters 3-0 start since what the 60s, and we're thinking to ourselves like, they beat Virginia Union. This is, this ain't your average Virginia Union team. This is the team that won the championship last year. So to think that they could to beat them at that time, it's like, man, they might be on to a good year. Obviously, they didn't have like the greatest year, but they didn't necessarily have a bad year either. So between that one, Edward Waters, the Morehouse Clark game, and then also the FAMU, the softball game, like knowing those elimination games FAMU had to face before facing obviously Jackson State. That was a time. That was a big moment. So I liked all those.
Good stuff. Mike, what were your thoughts on these three games or moments of the year, if you would, for 2025?
You know what? I was thinking of these three, I was going with Edward Waters. Because at that time, that was September.
Yep.
Everybody thought Virginia Union was that beast. That dude, that big kid on the block. And Edward Waters came and hit him in the nose. What happened? But then I saw that Morehouse game. Yeah. And it was, you ever hear rappers talk about Rucker Park in New York? That's how that game was. People hanging from the rims, playing above the rims, calling their three, almost like not indirectly, but indirectly, calling their threes. And you see people in the stands jumping up. That was a Rucker Park game. To me, that edged above it. I'm sorry. That was a Rucker Park game. So for me, of the three we showed, that game right there, I had to go back and watch that game. Great job, AD. Great job, Wilton. I know you guys are always doing their thing on behind the scenes. But me as a pure fan, I was like, that's a Rucker. Man, there should be a rap song about that. There should be bars hanging off that song, that game right there. Some bars hanging off that thing. Seriously. Yeah. So to me, that did it for me.
Yeah, that was a big one. I just remember following it, and Drew's like, man, you got to see it. I said, give it a tape. Drew, with that being said, how did you feel about those three moments? They were big, hard when you start pulling all these, so many big moments, but it's hard. But those were 10 through 8.
Right. And great shout out to Wilton and Brian on the call. But we also need to shout out the leader of the Black College Sports Network, Roy Evans, on the production. And correct me if I'm wrong, John, weren't you on that game too, as camera?
Yeah, I was on camera.
I thought so. Yeah. So I don't know which one of the cameras you was working on that game, but
stop the press, John. Don't give me that boyish. Don't give me that boyish smile.
Look, the only thing that I did as an administrator on that game was hire the right people and put them in the right places, and then the student athletes on the court delivered a great product. So and for me, selfishly speaking, at Morehouse, that was one of three classic basketball games that I felt that I was a part of during the 2025 season. Obviously, number one for me has to be the Howard upset that we had over Howard, and then the experience that we had at the HBCU All-Star Classic in Oakland, California, and that one right there was the coup de grace of them all. Also, I want to shout out Simone Stanley on that call of that Emma Waters game. Boy, her on that call, does that not get you excited when you hear her voice on it? And when you feel her enthusiasm on the call, it just makes you like, damn, I wish I was at that game.
Yeah. I don't want to wish, but I thought that was for a second. I thought that was Tiffany Green. But she had some excitement in that voice. She infused a whole degree of excitement in her call of that game. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and Wilton's been there with her. As great as Simone was on that football call, she does basketball better than she does football.
Yep, I would 100% agree.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, let's close it out with y'all. We got more to get to. That was just, again, 10 through 8. So we're going to have to make sure we shorten it up and get through all of these magic moments, because I know it's exciting to get everybody back. With that being said, Ja, who's responsible for putting this together, when you were going through that practice, I'm going to ask you this one before we move on. When you were going through it, what was it like when we're discussing? I'm saying, hey, I need a mixture. I need this and that. You give me some, and then I asked Mike and Charles. They gave me some, and then I had to throw it back at you. We going back and forth, and we settled on what we needed to do, and then you went to work. How was that?
It was fun because I get to go back and watch some of the moments, because I didn't even know about the FAMU and Bethune baseball and softball. There's a lot I just didn't know about, so I got to sit there and watch it. I was like, whoa, when did this go on? And seriously. Then like Drew was saying, he was talking about Morehouse. I was on camera that game, so I had to try my hardest to not lose focus, because it was just so much energy, and I got into it too. I was just, this is awesome! Like, it was great.
I appreciate you sharing. That's awesome. Let's take a first break. We'll come back on the other side. And it's time to give you the next 3. It's a build-up. Let's see if we live up to it. We had 7 through 5. We'll be right back after this break and give you those next 3 and see what other moments of 2025 were just that magical. We'll be right back after this next break.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want to lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab. So let's get right back into it. We're looking at those big moments. It's time to look at officially 7 through 5. Let's take it away.
We have Andre Martinez walking off FAMU on a 3-run home run to send Bethune-Cookman to their first NCAA tournament since 2011.
2-0. High drive to center field. Back to the wall. It's gone! Bethune-Cookman wins the SWAC with a walk-off home run from Andre Martinez.
Do I need to explain what feast or famine means? They just saw it. Bethune not a team that's going to score one run. They were going to do extra bases. And wow.
For the first time since 2011, Bethune-Cookman is headed to the NCAA tournament.
At number 6, we have Benedict's miracle win against Wingate, also known as the Wingate Wish. The Tigers trailed by as much as 24, even into the third quarter, but they would score 25 unanswered, including this play right here.
He'll just dump it down to Simmons. Simmons pump fakes. Now he'll throw it all the way to the other side of the field. There's room down the sideline. Ball's chasing him down. Brandon Perry trying to get to it. Oh my goodness. Benedict has scored. Benedict has scored. Holy cow.
This moment set up a third matchup versus Albany State, this time in the second round of playoffs. At number 5, we have Alabama State defeating Jackson State in the SWAC championship and their win in the first 4 of the NCAA tournament. TJ Madlock put the icing on the cake with this step-back jumper to secure their win against Jackson State.
Madlock goes with 7. Madlock puts it up and in! The dagger and the twist from Madlock.
This was Alabama State's first SWAC basketball title in over a decade, and they punched their ticket into the NCAA tournament.
Another close shave for the Hornets. Wins the SWAC.
The Hornets then traveled to Dayton, Ohio, where they had a date with St. Francis to see who would face Auburn University in the first round.
Man, oh boy, they just seem to get better. It's hard to imagine. I'm gonna go since we just got a good picture of Jackson with the smile and the shaking head. I'm gonna have to go back to Jackson. Jackson, you live these moments. Some of them, if you're not careful, they fade away, and then we have a reason at the end of the year to bring them back. Boy, you talking about great moments. I'm not sure how y'all gonna pick any of those 3, but somehow you got to say, what were your thoughts, Wilton, in terms of those next top memorable moments in HBCU sports for 2025? I'm muted. Yep.
Okay. Looking at the Bethune-Cookman game and seeing them get back to the SWAC championship, I thought, I remember when that happened, I thought, I was glad for Bethune-Cookman. But listen, that Benedict and Wingate game, man, never in a million years would I thought that Buddy makes the perfect pass across the field and he goes all the way for the touchdown. I remember AD Drew saying this before we did one of the last shows leading up to that third matchup. I remember him saying at the end of the show, you had said something along the lines of, don't be surprised if we could potentially see a third matchup of Benedict and Albany State. But I remember Benedict being down in that game by 20. I was like, oh, well, it's been a good season for Benedict. This game is done. They're not going to come back and win. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this might have been one of the greatest plays I saw in college football all year. Just the perfect timing on the pass, because it's not that we hadn't seen, trick plays like that before, or like magical plays that get you a touchdown, but it's just the perfect timing on that pass. And he had nothing but green grass. And the irony in the Jackson State and Alabama State is just like, man, to think that Alabama State ended Jackson State's basketball season, and then Jackson State turned around and ended basically Alabama
State's football season. Yep.
Potentially, winning the SWAC East. Yeah. So that was a good game. That's also an Alabama State team. I can remember last year before we even got into conference play, they weren't near the top yet. They kind of floated somewhere in the middle. But I remember watching them play a couple times, and I said they have really good guards. And one thing about basketball, of course, you need some solid size on the inside. But when you have a team with solid guards, they can really score and create for themselves like the way that they had. I was like, this is going to be a team that's going to be around. And here we go. You look back and you see the memories they had with beating Jackson State and then also getting that win against St. Francis. So I would probably say, Benedict. I think I'm going to still put Benedict and I'll go with Jackson State, Alabama State.
Nice one. Well, I'll say this, AD Drew, your naming of this will live just as long as the memory of a lot of fans have with the Wingate Witch. So I got to ask you from this perspective, where did that come from? Where did you say, this is what I'm calling it, and it stuck?
Well, for me, that play reminded me of the Music City Miracle from 30 years ago. And except the only difference between that and the Music City Miracle was the Music City Miracle occurred on the kickoff, if everybody remembers it. This was actually a scrimmage play. Outside of that, I mean, it almost looked the same thing when Kevin Dyson threw the ball back across the field. And I'm just thinking of it like, okay, Music City Miracle. And I'm like, hey, they just beat Wingate. That was like the Wingate Wish. It just kind of like, it just popped into my head as soon as I said, I believe they just beat Wingate. The irony of that, when I went back and watched that was, and I think I've told this story, I went into the post-game interview at Albany State thinking that Benedict had lost that game.
Wow.
And I said it as part of one of my questions during which means note to yourself as journalists, never say something like that unless you are 120% confirmed before you ask the question. My bad. But as much as y'all want to talk about that one, Dr. Cavil was there with me. I was standing behind home plate. When that happened. I had my camera ready because at that point either FAMU was going to win or Bethune was going to win. So I had my camera ready to get this, followed by this, y'all.
Oh, wow. Those are perfect pictures to describe the situation.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and while you pull it out, I'm going to go to you, Mike, next again. I just remember, like, right behind AD, and I'm edging, and I'm like, we got to go because we got a flight. We had a flight out. And Deuce is like, no, we got to watch this. You know, I'm paranoid about a flight. I guess we could have stayed another. We'd have figured it out. But everything worked out. We left literally right after that. He's screaming, doing his thing, almost like the Panther Prairie View game, Labor Day Classic, another classic, and he'll have memories for life. So I'm so excited and proud of him. It was funny. We made it airport, got on time, no problem. Mike, where are you with these?
Couple of reminders. Going back to the Bethune FAMU game. Remember who was number one at that point in the season? Y'all remember?
Bethune.
Who was it?
Bethune. Yep.
Bethune.
That's right. Bethune. They had the highest slugging percentage, highest on base percentage. Everybody was predicting FAM. Everybody was saying FAM. Alabama State, highest ERA or best ERA, which they typically do. They came out ahead. The Wingate Wish. Thank you, AD, for the name. I got to correct you. 2 games that remind you. Number 1, the Music City Miracles. But if it correct me if I'm wrong, but Wingate had a 24-7 lead, right? So that means that not only did they have to pull off a miracle, they had to score 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. So not only did they do the miracle, but they had to first do the 18 unanswered points. To me, that was like Atlanta losing that 24-7 lead in the Super Bowl and the Music City Miracles. To me, that was both them games all in one. That's true. I just got so excited. You told us about the story about you preparing, thinking you had the wrong team. But man, I mean, seriously, 2 games wrapped in one. And then for Bethune to come out like that, everybody predicting FAM, I'm sorry. For me, it's the AD named Wingate Wish to me that stands out and towers above the rest.
It's definitely the play of the year. It may not be the game of the year, but it's definitely the play of the year.
Definitely the play of the year.
That's very well. Ja, what they took a lot of the meat off the bone, so I don't know where you're gonna go, but go ahead.
Well, I wanted to open Mike, you may have to mention that Super Bowl, man. Still hurts a little bit. But yeah, you know, we were at the Florida Classic at the time of the Benedict game, and I was watching in the back. I had to remember where I was for a second. I ran around and said, "Doc, you saw the play, Doc." But I think that was probably like y'all said, that's the play of the year. I think that's the best thing I've ever gotten to witness live. So it was really great, especially for somebody who was a big supporter of the SIAC. And I couldn't believe it was actually really great for the one who threw it, Trey Simmons. He was last year's starting quarterback for Benedict and moved to wide receiver. So it was really cool to see how that came to fruition from the season prior. So it just all came together so perfectly.
Great way to tie it in, to go back in the history, talk about wide receiver moving from quarterback, and he has literally the pass of his life as a wide receiver. And they'll never forget that. And they'll have that forever in the record book. That was their first playoff win. All right. We'll take our next break. And if we hadn't done enough for you, we got 4 more, but we're going to play the next 3 and see where you are after that. We'll be right back after this next break.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2026? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 30th to February 1st, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
You're looking to compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want to lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We are the professors. We're here reminding you of what took place in 2025. It was a full, impactful year. You notice we've been in baseball. We had a little bit of softball. Obviously, we've had some basketball. It seems like now when you get up here, it's probably going to be quite a bit of football, because I think we've had one of the best football seasons. I'm talking about in HBCU sports that we've had in a long time. When you talk about the competitiveness of multiple conferences, that's the SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC, so many games going not only down to the end of the year with big games, championship games, de facto championship games, and also last-second field goals, stops on the 1 yard line, comebacks. We've had everything, but let's see what fits now. We'll do our next 3, 4 through 2. Let's see what it looks like.
We have the Labor Day Classic between Prairie View, A&M, and Texas Southern. This late touchdown pass from KJ Cooper to Rory Richardson put Texas Southern up by 5 with under a minute to go. Cam Peters proceeded to drive the Panthers down the field 94 yards in 9 plays.
Now for Peters, pressure, steps up in the pocket, has a man wide open, and he has the completed pass remaining. Peters looking to throw it again, has to scramble to his right. Peters has a couple of guys over the middle, completes it to Bingman. Bingman at the 10, knocked down at about the 9.
To set up a game-winning
touchdown. Now they chased
touchdown.
him after him, and now here it is. Final play of the game. Peters lost it over the middle, touchdown! Peters with a touchdown to number 9, Rodney Ojo! And the defensive player was in great position. He just couldn't find the football. He just did not look. But Prairie View has done it again.
At number 3, we have the game that would become the SWAC East Championship between Jackson State and Alabama State. This game would see 5 lead changes in the second half and 2 in the final 5 minutes.
Rip off chunks of yardage.
Holds claws, trying to flip his way into the end zone and does!
The Tigers responded with an 18-yard touchdown pass from Jacobian Morgan to Nate Rimbert.
Morgan going for the end zone, has a man into the hands of Nate Rimbert! 5th passing TD, and that one's so important because it puts Jackson State back on top.
But the Hornets weren't out of it. Andrew Body led the Hornets down 71 yards to the 1-yard line in 44 seconds.
And good lunch, timeout, they gotta take a timeout!
The Hornets had one final opportunity.
Here it is, Body splits it over, Jackson State holds on, they survive the storm in a homecoming thriller!
Number 3 does a great job coming across the
Ashton
formation.
Taylor, give him his credit.
He recognized it right away. His responsibility was running back.
At number 2, we had Prairie View heading into Jackson State and winning the 2025 SWAC title.
So now here on 2nd and goal, Peters looking for some space and he runs into the end zone. The first score of the game goes to the Panthers.
Jackson State was looking for their 4th SWAC title in the last 5 years.
And Morgan felt the pressure, plenty of real estate in front of him. He's going for more and into the end zone.
But Coach Jackson and his Panthers were having none of it.
Peters has a man into the hands, and Ethan John, the tight end, still going, brought down inside the 5.
Ball.
Lockhart, back to pass, intercepted into the hands of Darryl Starling Jr., who has had an outstanding first half. On 3rd and 11 after that tackle for a loss. It's Cam Peters going deep, 1-on-1 coverage on the outside. There's that man, Josiah Rockwell.
Quarterback.
Only 4 receptions today for these receivers for Jackson State, and he's looking to the outside and has him and bringing it in. It's Jalen Duke.
Late in the 3rd quarter, Cam Peters refined Cam Bonner from 40 yards out to put the Panthers up by 2 scores.
Against Alcorn and has a good back. He's sent in there. Cameron Bell walks into the end zone.
But the Tigers showed no quit, and Ahmad Miller brought JSU back within 2.
They go back to 27 and blue. This time, he's successful. Ahmad Miller punching ahead.
With no timeouts in the 2-minute warning looming, Jackson State needed a stop on this 3rd inning.
Unit trying to convert. Peters takes off, holding on to that football like a loaf of bread, but picks up a huge first down.
That first down run would secure Prairie View their first SWAC title since 2009. Cam Peters had 394 yards on the day and will walk away with game MVP. And Coach Tremaine Jackson would become the first-year head coach to win a SWAC championship in the modern era.
Celebration Bowl. We'll see you.
Number 1, good tease. Good tease. With that, all football. Oh, it's big time. Mostly SWAC. Ja, where are you with these 3? I'm going to start with you.
I had a hard time putting the Labor Day Classic down below. Well, number 1 is number 1. I'll say that. But I had a hard time putting the Labor Day Classic at anything besides number 2. I think that game was just, well, that final drive by them, that was just, it was outstanding. And for them to do it as time expired, I think that just added so much to it, especially against a rival. So there's that. And I hate this.
Add on one more point before you do that. What people may not realize that didn't watch it or forgot is that they had scored and they called a penalty and backed them up. You had one little time left. And you're like, they can't score again. They did. You're like, wow.
You know, I hate to say it. I was kind of rooting against Jackson State in that game versus Alabama State. I was. I wanted to see somebody different come out on top, and especially since they had one of my guys, Jaleel Lenore, came from Central State, went to Alabama State. So I was rooting against them. It kind of hurt my heart to see them run an option to the short side of the field. Will never make sense to me. But but I think outside of Labor Day Classic not being number 2, I think everything else is exactly where it needs to be.
That's a good call. I think that surprised a lot of everybody. And it ended up being, as you talked about, at Alabama State and Jackson State being the de facto semifinals for the SWAC championship game, championship game for the Eastern Division. You had the first game of the year, essentially, that became the championship for the Western Division. That's crazy. So let me go to you, Mike. Of those games, quite a few Prairie View in that. What are your thoughts in terms of those matchups?
Yeah, I got a lot of feelings pent up. That's why I'm drinking. So,
all those things.
If Jacoby and Morgan was starting, well, he didn't, and that dark side defense wasn't so dark. I saw
he got light skinned.
Yeah. So with that, I agree with y'all. I think because people remember, you got to remember, if Prairie View does not pull off that last minute, then TSU is easily in Jackson State, probably playing for the championship. So you got to look at that moment. We were sitting in the end zone where he caught the ball. The eruption of the audience was incredible. That alone, to me, catapults that to me at least to number 2. Now, having said that, that Alabama State, that Jackson State, that game was, that ended on the 2-yard line. Wilton, I know you're feeling some kind of way. I love you, but you're feeling some kind of way. But to me, sorry, that Labor Day Classic, move it up a couple of notches. I agree with Ja. Number 1 is going to be number 1. And I don't even think I want to see. I think I need to go back to Gatling to see number 1.
We got a break coming, Mike, before we get to number 1. You got time to refuel.
Exactly. But to me, that Labor Day Classic, it was good then, but I don't think we realized how good it was, how much better it was until we got further into the season and saw that, man, this could have easily been, reversed. It could have been heck, it could have been Alabama State and Texas TSU easily. Those 2 games alone. So that's my choice. I'll pass it on to Drew. I'm gonna take another sip.
No, I'm gonna go to Wilton since you called him out. I'm gonna save Drew for last, best for last. I'm gonna go to Wilton and not make him wait since you pick the Bears. They say
that you had to make me rewatch some hard games. You had to make me rewatch. It's okay though. But I'm gonna start with the Labor Day Classic.
Graham and Jackson State wasn't on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me say this. So Labor Day Classic was absolutely a great game. I think that when I look back at it now, it was really a precursor for what we would see from Prairie View. If you think about it, even the way Cameron Peters led them down the field on that last drive, the way he led Prairie View in that in the SWAC championship game, like that was a strong precursor to what we would see from him. Of course, he goes through moments, he gets benched, he comes back, but ultimately that was a precursor for what Prairie View season would become, right? And then the honestly, still to this day, the best game this season that I saw amongst HBCU football is absolutely Jackson State and Alabama State. Like there were so many people chirping about that game afterwards, like literally.
And I forgot that it was homecoming.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like it was Jackson State's homecoming, but people were saying like, well, this might be the greatest game we would have saw all season because at the time, Prairie View hadn't really solidified itself as Prairie View yet. I mean, Texas Southern was still kind of in the mix. We didn't know what Grambling was. Southern was already on the back end of like a terrible season. And UAPB was just like, well, we just here. So it's like we didn't really know. But seriously, like we didn't know what the SWAC West was going to be like yet. So everything was like, we thought that the champion, at one point, there was a high possibility that the champion was going to come from the SWAC East. And it looked as though it could have been Jackson State. Now, the SWAC championship game. Man, when I tell you, I'll say this. everybody knows, of course, there's going to be the bias from me from Jackson, but Prairie View played a hell of a game. They played from the very beginning to the end. Like, it was a strong game. I didn't know it would come down to be like that. But that was a good game. That was a really good game. And I think more so than anything beyond just the game, just knowing the way Tremaine Jackson came into this program from the very moment he stood at that podium and said we would win a SWAC championship, we would get to Atlanta. And he did it. Every coach can't say they've said something like that and bag it up the way that he did.
You're right. No, that's perfectly said. And I've had the fortune to be in Jackson for those 4 championship games that Jackson State had. I had never seen the booth quiet like that. And I'm talking about, and it wasn't quiet just because people didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
People were so focused on that game, and they were trying to understand what they were seeing, you know, good or bad, different folks, whatever, how you want to see it.
Right.
But it was a quiet, you know, usually we're in there, Jackson would ask about a play and talk. Everybody just looked. And then you had Prairie View's coordinators over there, and that didn't help because they were intense.
Oh, yeah.
So you were looking at them, and you was like, you didn't want to disrupt them. You were like, never mind. And so you just going in. So it was quite wild. Let me go to you, AD Drew.
Let's assume number one is number one. I think everybody is probably 99% correct on what they think number one is.
Mm-hmm.
That means
be careful. I didn't mention the Grambling game now.
Assuming number one is what number one is, that means I have my own beef about some of the bias of the committee here already.
All right, that's fair.
And with that being said, I am thoroughly disappointed that either Albany State Benedict 2 or Albany State Benedict 3 is nowhere on this list. Because number one was definitely a blowout. Number one, nowhere near it. But number 2 and number 3, they both deserve to be on this list, especially the play. Was it PI? Was it not PI at the end of number 2? So, those need to be on the list. But even with that being said, it shows how football focused we are as a society and as HBCU folks. Because there's no way in hell that you could tell me, as great as all those football games were, that a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, despite the fact that my alma mater lost, is not, and it should not be number 2 on this list.
That's a good argument. I can't push back on that. I would say
the championship game.
Part of that is the fact that we had to get the video. So some of this is to that part of that. We'll be truthful on that part of it.
Yeah.
And 2, like you said, that major division, mid-major division toughness, and we wanted to have a diversity in the play. You could almost have a top 10 of football.
Yeah,
like I said.
Easily.
Yeah. But the walk-off
other than maybe Las Vegas being number 1, if it's not, that means it's left out.
Yeah.
The South Carolina State, Delaware State game.
Yep. Or South Carolina State Central.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could easily have a top 10 just football.
But explain why walk-off not being number 2 though, Doc.
Yeah.
You know, right? That's what I'm saying. To your point, I'm agreeing with you. If you're making an excellent point that it could be higher and arguably should be number 2. I think it's a perfect point.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, let's take our last break. Come back on the other side. See who number 1 is.
Relax, AD. We love you. We love you. Okay.
And then we'll get guys to kind of sum up this year.
And I still say it's number 2.
Exactly. We'll get everybody's thoughts and sum up this year and hear a little bit about what they want to see for 2026. With that being said, we'll be right back after this last break, and we'll give you number 1.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Hey Doc, real quick, I want to take in and introduce my nephew from Atlanta, Georgia. His name is Greg.
Number one is not playing. That's good. We don't.
Oh, hey Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
My nephew Gregory from Atlanta.
Yes.
He is a diehard Falcons fan. Loves sports. Gregory, who's your favorite college team? Tell A-Dude.
Prairie View.
Who said again?
Prairie View.
All right.
That's good job. Good job. I got the next. I got the next cheeseburger, pizza, whatever you want, man. It's on me.
See, he said he got the next cheeseburger. So thanks
pizza, whatever you want, pepperoni, whatever you like. I got it.
All right.
Since number one is not working, do we have to play it?
It's working, isn't it?
Oh, I was trying to make an excuse. Maybe we switch
No.
it.
If I gotta
watch. Wilt gotta watch that.
Replay that.
I had to watch FAMU. You gotta watch this.
Exactly.
Okay, if you force me.
No, that video is broke.
I have a little truth to say though. John says no, you can't do that. I was gonna put Jack State Grammar, surprise everybody. He said no, that's not. I said, well, move him to number 2 and put that doesn't work either. So I tried.
At number 1, there's no other than the 2025 Celebration Bowl between South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M. Prairie View was making it look extremely easy, jumping out to a 21-0 lead before halftime.
They keep it on the ground again, and plenty of room, and that's Cameron Peters. Yo, he did a lot of that last week in the SWAC championship, and he runs it in from 27 yards out. Here on 2nd and 9, Prairie View trying to tack on some more. Oh my goodness! You called his name earlier, Josiah Rockwell, a dude, brings it in.
Then as the second half started, momentum began to shift.
Look out, look out.
Ball on the ground, it's loose, picked up, and Jordan Dollard trying to will his way into the end zone, and a good change of events if you're a South Carolina State fan.
They're yet to establish control of the line of scrimmage, running the football.
Jet sweep saying, we're going to get in on the first play. Touchdown, South Carolina State. From this Cricket Celebration Bowl, the broadcast booth is Ryan Stubblefield going deep, has a man on the outside, and Nigel Johnson hauls it in. Of the game so far for South Carolina State, taking advantage of that deep threat on the jet sweep. And
what a move!
Off. Yes, sir! Jordan Smith, there he is! Touchdown, South Carolina State! Wide open look, and an excellent haul in! Hype me up, says the Bulldogs. Hype me up, I'll hype me up! Meanwhile, Chennis Berry hyping up South Carolina State fans just when you thought it was out. Down and out for the Bulldogs. They come in black with plenty of fight.
After going scoreless in the first 12 minutes of the quarter, Prairie View finally responded.
Here on this second down, Peters drifting back, has an open man in the end zone. And there it is. You mentioned it, Jay, and a touchdown to Andre Dennis.
But the Dogs came right back down and put more points on the board.
Stubblefield looking for some room, runs into the end zone. Hooks thrown up, take the pitcher. South Carolina State looking to even it up.
But PV came right back at him with a huge play.
Peters with time, looking into the hands of Cameron Bonner down the sideline, and Cameron Bonner, you're not gonna catch him, 78 yards. The touchdown stands as Cameron Bonner stays on his feet, the balance, and the longest play of the season for PV.
After an empty possession by both teams, South Carolina State's season came down to 1 4th and 15.
It's the ball and lower your shoulder.
Stubblefield steps up, makes the throw, and into the hands of Jordan Smith.
With 2 minutes to go, Ryan Stubblefield found his favorite target once again.
Will it be South Carolina State or Prairie View A&M? Looking into the end zone, hauls it in. That's Jordan Smith. How fitting is it that Jordan Smith brings in his third touchdown of the game? And so, folks, when 4 quarters just won't do in regulation, we've got overtime coming up here from the HBCU National Championship between South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M.
After exchanging field goals, in the beginning of overtime too, South Carolina State made a crucial mistake.
Stubblefield going for Smith, or rather Nigel Johnson.
Picked off.
And it's picked off by Cornelius Davis Jr. Whoa!
This gave freshman kicker Diego Alfaro a chance to cement his legacy at Prairie View and become a legend for the Panthers.
Guard tip, the hold is good, it's up, and he missed it! Oh my! Off the mark! And we keep on going! The pressure on the freshman kicker.
Both the Bulldogs and the Panthers got stops in the third overtime, and it got sent to a fourth OT. Then a play so controversial that it will be debated for generations to come came to fruition.
Starting from the 3, Stubblefield feels pressure into the hands. Did he reach out? Yes! Tyler Smith is in!
So you have to extend.
Ooh,
no, sir.
Okay.
This look right here will tell you.
This is a great look. And I think he's gonna. Nope.
Not even close.
He only gets goal line extended if he touches somewhere in the end zone or if he touches the pylon. He's not touching the pylon, so that means the ball has to break the plane of the goal line inside of the pylon. And they need indisputable video evidence that it's not. To me, I think it's out.
Then after all the fuss and even the rules expert coming in and giving his opinion, this was the call made.
They don't want to.
The ruling on the field is upheld. The score.
See?
Oh my goodness!
Welcome to my world, Jerry.
I think it just lies on the fact that there's not indisputable video evidence. So they're just going to stay with the call on the field.
After all that, the Panthers still have to take the field and go for their 2-point attack.
Right here. Cam Peters looking, and that's it! South Carolina State held on to win it! They are the HBCU National Champions for 2025! Second time in 5 years for the Bulldogs, and what a way to end it! 4 overtimes in Chennis Bay, giving praise and thanks, getting over the hump.
So am I supposed to talk after that?
Yep.
Man, it's amazing. Every time I watch that, I find myself going like this on the field goal, and I'm like, and then they make the call. I'm doing like this every time, no matter how much I know it's coming. I'm still.
Yeah.
Doc, before we go any further, that was so bad for y'all. YouTube cut the clips. So for those of y'all who still watching us on Facebook, you're gonna have to sit up here and put up with Doc and Mike in their misery, and tell all y'all friends watching us on YouTube to switch over to the Facebook feed for this last segment.
Good stuff. Good stuff. YouTube is merciful. They're trying to salvage some. Who do I want to go to first? Mike, I'm gonna let you sicken this a little bit. So I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to Wilton. Since he had to deal with it last time, I'm gonna go to Wilton first and give him a little reprieve.
You know, when I looked, like, I was probably just like any other fan, even though obviously I had to cover this game. I remember looking in that press box and looking at a few people sitting far from me, and I said 21-0 at halftime. Like, this is not what I thought. This is nothing. I didn't think it would be 21-0 at halftime, but I said, oh, Prairie View's rolling. Cameron Peters looks like a superstar right now. Some action figure out there that's just doing whatever he wants to, getting away whatever he wants to do. I'm talking about everything's perfect. If you took a nap at halftime and said, oh, this game is done, like, you don't even need to watch the second half, I hate it for you, because that turnover for Prairie View late in deep in their own territory, I was like, man, okay, maybe that's just one miscue. That changed everything. And my guy Ryan Stubblefield, Jordan Smith, I know Mike, I gotta say this, and you give me a hard time because I ain't part of the Alvins, the Black Gold. You saw that shimmy in there, right? He took over the entire game.
Yes, I saw it, Jimmy.
Okay. I just
want to have the Jimmy anyway.
I saw the guns. I saw everything I didn't want to see.
Yeah, I saw shimmies. I saw dog signs, whatever.
You saw everything. I say all this to sum everything up for real. That was a truly good game.
Yep.
That I don't think anybody expected was gonna be a good game. And I say that because all the talk about, when people come to the Celebration Bowl, where Prairie View fans come out to a team, we know South Carolina State was gonna come, and just seeing South Carolina State come back, because for a minute you thought that we've seen this story before. We've seen where teams come back, but they don't get the chance to win. Where Prairie View missed that field goal, I want to say it was either I think it was the field goal or extra point. One of the times, I think it was the second overtime. I said to myself, this game belongs to South Carolina State. It's meant for them to win this game. And Lord, obviously they won, but I was just like, you couldn't ask for two better teams to be playing for the HBCU National Championship. And again, two great coaches. You got Tennis Berry, who's the ultimate motivator, and we know everybody, all of us were pretty much in that press conference. He had a lot to say about coaches, about how he felt like South Carolina State was pretty much under the radar the entire year, and you couldn't even really be mad at him for saying what he said. And then just thinking about what Tremaine Jackson said, like, a lot of us thought Jackson State was going to be at the Celebration Bowl, or somebody else for that matter, and the fact that they were able to come in year one and do what they did. I mean, it was an incredible season. And like I said, I'm proud to see where Prairie View is. I can't wait to see what they'll look like next year.
Yeah, good stuff. Ja? Man, you were full of inspiration. I don't know how you put it. You put it together so well. YouTube is like, nope, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to start. That was the best football game I've ever seen, like, in person, especially with the sitting up there with you guys. It was amazing. I saw it. I'm sorry about the loss for you guys. I saw the defeat on y'all faces once that field goal went.
You couldn't hide that one. Hide that one.
Yeah, and honestly, I still don't think that score was good. I know they're trying to say they explained the rules and stuff behind it. I can't get behind that. I think it probably should have gone to another overtime, honestly. But
I would have appreciated that.
Thank you.
I feel like, and then you get to and you get everything. I just remember being in the press box because you can't get on the field. So we're in the back in the media setting up to make sure we get there. And you're like, okay, cool. They're gonna overturn it. There's no way. You see them, they say good, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Then I was like, Wilton, I say it ain't meant to be. It's just it ain't gonna happen. Yeah. And 4th and 15 was the first time. But I remember the play. A couple of folks were having to get in their position. So some folks wanted to go to field. So we had our stuff. So I wanted to take a picture with us. So I asked everybody right before things seemed to get started, let's take this picture real quick. So we take this picture. So I come back down there and I'm like, they had a ball deep. I'm like, what happened? So then I'm quickly seeing the replay and I'm like, oh, Lord. And it just kept so fast. She's like, oh, we in a game now. Mm-hmm. Drew, your thoughts. Close us
out. That's the most I have seen of that game, and I was at that game. I was at that game longer than anybody else, and that's the most that I've actually watched that game because I was actually working the game. But just to put this in perspective, there were 7 records broken in that game. 7 Celebration Bowl records. I'm not gonna go down in details for each and every one of them, but there were 7 records broken in that particular game. The one that you guys don't like is the largest comeback in Celebration Bowl history.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, isn't it ironic that the only team on the FCS level that was vying for a championship who actually ended the season with their quarterback? Their quarterback did not get lost at some point due to injury. Is the team that lost the championship game. Crazy. South Carolina State lost their quarterback in the championship game. Jackson State lost their quarterback. Grambling lost their quarterback. Alabama State lost their starting quarterback. It's just ironic. This was the year of the backup quarterback. It was just backup destiny this particular year. So, and the most important thing out of all of that, Dr. Cavil, on top of the game, was the game peaked at 3 million viewers.
Yep.
You know, where everybody was so worried about who wasn't gonna be there, what nobody gonna show up because our team wasn't there. Y'all team might not have been there, but y'all damn sure was watching, wasn't y'all?
Yeah.
And to your point, when you put that out there in terms of Cam Peters, shout out to him because he was one of those records that he set in terms of most yards in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. All right, 2026. I promise we'll leave it on this. Everybody go around and give me your thoughts. What do you look forward to 2026? Wilton.
Man, where do I start? Just more exciting HBCU football. SWAC East is still going to be tough. I mean, I'm looking to see Prairie View try to. I would love to see them try to, run it back. And obviously, I'm excited about Marshall Falk leading Southern to see where they come up to next year. I think with basketball, I think now we're getting into where we're now in basketball season. It's going to be interesting to see which SWAC teams kind of emerge there. And then no shortage of excitement with softball and baseball. Right. So I'm really just excited for the entire, gamut of spring sports.
80 Drew.
I'm gonna take something from the big boy level and see if it trickles down to us. We've seen what's happening with NIL and the transfer portal. We saw last week that somebody who declared for the NBA draft but never played in the game is all of a sudden eligible. I want to see when some of that, or are we really going to start getting that trickle down into the HBCU sphere? Because so many of these kids who used to go to the Dukes and the Carolinas and the LSUs and the Texases, when are these young black athletes going to come back to the HBCU level? Will it be 2026? I hope like hell it is that we get that some of this talent that used to go elsewhere winds up back at the HBCU level. And other than that, I want to see our leagues continue to thrive and do what they've been doing. HBCUs, we started being high in the 20s. we're going into the back half of the 20s, everybody. Let's think about that. We are starting the back half of the 20s. Can we close the back half of the 20s with the same momentum that we had for the start of the 20s?
Good stuff. Ja, where are you? 2026.
I'm hoping to see the brand of HBCU sports continue to expand on all levels. Especially, I feel like this year was huge for us. Especially even at the Division II level. I don't think we had, for the past 2 years, football specifically, we've had Virginia Union and Albany State get to the regional championships, and we're seeing more teams that aren't usually competitive get to that point again. And I'm hoping that the athletes can see the value in our programs.
Good comments. Good stuff. Mike?
I'm still reeling after that video you showed. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I got the first one for you. I got the first one shot for you.
I had a moment. I had to get quiet. What am I looking for? Year one or year two of some of the coaches coming into the league and what that looks like. You had NFL coaches. You got Marshall Park coming to Southern. What's that going to look like for the football season? I can't wait for, to be honest, softball season. We have some competitive softball teams. I can't wait for that coming into the year two. I can't wait to see the parity that you now see in Division I, Division II, to Ja's point. These competitive games, I think we're on the precipice. I think we're on the beginning. I think you're going to see a lot more of these types of games, and that just makes the brand better. I want to see what happens to the SWAC network and the new network with for Division II. That's like, what are these networks going to do? That we only seen year one, and you saw how much vision, how many folks it attract. Even casual fans were asking you about these networks. That's what I'm excited about. And then the other thing I'm really, really, really excited about is going back to Ja, is our overall growth, and each year there's some kind of growth that we have either in Division I, Division II, or I'll say SWAC MEAC or SIAC, CIAA. What's the next level of growth you're going to see for us? I don't know. I know Charles McClellan is a genius, or really he and his team. And I'm just excited to see from a business standpoint what's next. So that's what I won't hang my head on the last video, that number one we saw. I agree with Ja. He didn't get in. He didn't get in. He just did not get in. He didn't get in.
Man, perfect way to end it. I'll just say this. I want to have more opportunities to discuss HBCU football with you gentlemen, and the others that are out there covering it, specifically some of the ladies that are doing great work, the whole team, and I work hoping and praying that all of y'all get your just dues in terms of continuing to move forward with health, prosperity in this new year. Happy Kwanzaa for those that celebrate. And I want to also acknowledge Ken Rashad, HBCU Sports. They're doing a 12-hour pod-a-thon. I will be able to be on there tomorrow at 12 at Central Standard Time. And then also want to make sure that you realize ONG Strike Zone. They're generally on Wednesday, but because of the New Year's Eve, they'll be doing the show today. That will begin at 8 p.m., so support them. Check them out.
That began at 8 Eastern. It already began.
8 Eastern, 7 o'clock. So as soon as we close this out, jump over there and check them out. We will try to give you something on Thursday. The new year, we'll see what that looks like. And then obviously on Saturday, you have College Brown, one of the shows that will be airing the first new. Shout that out. Shout out to Liv. I agree. She's doing great.
Liv is outstanding.
Find a way to give her some space over here. I know she's busy and got her own thing, but certainly she has an open invitation anytime that she wants to shine some light, because she's doing some great work regardless we're here to support and celebrate her. Again, I want to thank everybody on the team, Roy, AD, Mike, Ja, Wilton, Charles Bishop, all of you all that make this show what it is. Now I have to include Deuce and Miles well in terms of the spinoff for the youth show. And look forward to getting over there and seeing the rest of this game. Shout out to all our supporters, those that are loud, those that are silent, those that have a chance when they see me shout out and tell me and appreciate the work I'm doing. I appreciate that. So just wanted to say thanks for a wonderful 2025. And certainly with all the things we're doing outside of HBCU sports that are weighing heavy on us, hopefully that they get much better in 2026. Continue to do the work. Continue to hold your head high. Continue to be strong. We love you right here on HBCU Sports Lab, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We're here to support you and continue to push things forward. With that, I want to say thank you for listening inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta, Cavil, Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, AD Drew, Wilton Jackson II, as well as Ja, getting us a lot of work. And we'll be able to bring him on a little more. He's earned his stripes, kind of had to go through the fire. Mike made sure he said you're good. Once Mike says you're good, you see how he does Wilton. He won't stop now. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah, he definitely don't stop.
You got his blessing, other than what you did with the #1 video. But again, I am the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Again, we thank you for listening to Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We look forward to Thursday, the new year. We can say it now as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil. That's DrKenyattaCavil. That's DrKenyattaCavil on Threads, Facebook, Instagram. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook, inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big, continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Mike?
Of course.
Wilton?
Lecture.
Ja? AD?
Yes.
See you.